Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us today. We're so grateful that we have you all here with us. Yeah, my darling wife is looking all pretty. It's Valentine's Day. I hope you have had some fun. You have gone out to have some fun, or maybe even in the house, you have done something or the other that keeps the fire of the love burning. And if there's no one, if you're a single parent, you're single, not engaged, you take yourself out, and show yourself some love, or just show love to someone who least expected it. And of course, someone who will be confused by the love. So, welcome here. We're so glad, happy to have you here with us today. Or, baby, what would you say?
Definitely glad to have you here, everyone. I hope I can see you in the chats. If you're there, just comment so that we can see you and let us know where you're joining from.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We're excited, and I hope you are too.
Yeah.
Hey, Sister T, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Seems I'm alone. Oh. Let's do some gossip before they join. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Welcome to our very first live on YouTube. So glad to see you guys here. Yeah, good to be here too. Lucky, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, welcome back.
Yes, yes. I don't know why admin took me out, but yes, it's good to be back. Um, what say you? Lovely comments from everybody. The part of the world everyone is
Yes,
from.
so
We
lovely
are
comments.
so delighted.
I can see Benson.
Oh, nice.
I can see Favor. Hi,
Great,
guys.
great.
Yeah. Okay, so should we dive right in?
Yes, I would say so too. I haven't heard where people are from. We'll come up with the candid questions later, but I think we should just dive right in so that we can make the most of the 1 hour
Most
and
of the
get it
time,
wrapped
yeah,
up
absolutely.
within 1 hour.
Because
Those who
for those
are,
of us in Nigeria, it's late.
yeah, so it will soon be bedtime, definitely. Yeah.
Seems your network is shaky.
No, I'm fine. I'm here. Okay,
Okay.
so loving your spouse in this cold word. Loving your spouse in this cold word. When we're
Sounds like
inspired
winter.
to say that again. Okay, I thought I heard you say something. Anyway, so back to what I
I
was.
said it sounds like winter.
Yes, of course. And there are seasons of life, right? In which you can talk about since one of the seasons of marriage, or of your life being winter. But more essentially, the inspiration of this topic was from the fact that the world in itself is becoming so cold to love. The world is fast going in the direction of if it's not in line with the way I feel, if it's not paying the bills, if it's not bringing a lot of money, if it doesn't give me rest of mind, if I have to do a lot to get it, I don't want it. You know, and as more and more sexualized the world is getting, is also getting de-loved, if I can use that word. So it's getting highly sexualized, and then the love is being removed from the interactions between the sexes in marriage, in relationship, and the like. Yeah, so this topic came up, and we say we would do our best to do justice to it and be a blessing to everyone that come across this link, that join us live right now, or that play the replay later. Yeah. So straight up to it, have you start. I would have you start right away, and then from there, I mean, as you're talking about the point, I'll contribute, you contribute, and try to see how we do justice to the 5 points. And most importantly, there are going to be bonus. There's going to be 1 or 2 bonus points. So please be on the lookout for that. And at the end of the day, we're going to ask a question that we're hoping to get some feedback from you guys on that question. Thank you. Yeah, so straight up, pretty, you can go ahead. I hereby introduce my darling, my one and only. I call her my beautiful world. You know, maybe this is a good time to say Happy Valentine's Day. Every day is Valentine's with us, right? And we're hoping that we're able to transfer that to as many couples as possible also, such that the love can be touchable, so tangible that you can touch it in your home and in your life. Thank you. So take us away.
All right, thank you. Okay, so just before I join, I want to say hello to, I can see Jane Woleola in the chat. I can see Rosemary, Emihan, and I can see Kristen. Kristen is joining from St. Catherine's. Hi, Kristen. Okay, all right, so let's start. So I will be starting with the first, and I think most critical thing in this time. I believe that in the current situation of our world, it's part of the reasons why we describe it as a cold world, and it's because a lot of people tend to connect without relationship. So we find that people are connecting more, right? So I can be here connecting with someone in China, but there is no relationship. So there is connection, but no relationship. And so you find that even though people are more connected now than ever before, people are still lonely. It's surprising. I can connect with you in the UK, in Australia, but we're still lonely. Why? Because the connection is just what it is, connection. There is no relationship. And that's the reason why the world looks colder now than it's used to be, even though we're all online on social media. And so one of the first things that will make your home cold, that will make your marriage cold, is when you get distracted by social media, by your devices, your phones, your screens, your laptops, your TVs. That's one of the things that can make your marriage cold. So we need to be very, very careful with how social media impacts, our relationship, how social media, the impact that it has. I remember when we first got married, we decided that for the first 6 months, we wouldn't have a television. And it was deliberate. We even had a decoder, a DSTV decoder, I remember. But we didn't buy a TV. We were like, for the first 6 months, let's just be looking at ourselves when we get home every day from work. Let's connect. Let's get to know each other better. We've been doing this from several miles away. Now we're living in the same house. Let's really get to know each other better, so that when the TV comes, when the distractions come, we're already used to each other, that it will be easier to connect even with all of those things. And that really, really helped us. Today, that is not really an issue anymore. In fact, it was never an issue where, I say my husband is on the phone, or my husband is on his laptop, he's not answering me. Because we're able to learn that we need to connect, like we need to interact, we need to spend time together. So if you don't understand this distraction that social media devices can bring to your home, you will disregard it. In fact, when your spouse is complaining, it will look like the person is stressing you. Why are you stressing me? You won't understand that the person has a point. There is a reason why that person is saying what they're saying. Because we are not built, as human beings, we're not built to be alone. We're not built to live life alone. So when you get married, the idea is that you connect with the person that you are. So when you are connecting with your devices, you're watching TV. I've seen people watch and watch maybe sports, movies. Like, do you know that these things even get you addicted? You find that you're addicted to games. You can play games all night, and then in the morning you can't function for your family. You can barely make it at work. You can barely stay awake. It's real. And then your spouse is feeling like they are alone in this world because they're unable to connect with you. You're spending more time with your devices. So we need to be very, very, like alert and aware of these things because it's actually happening. You have people coming into the counseling room every time saying, I'm lonely. I'm married, but I'm lonely. Okay, is the person walking out of state? No, the person is walking right in the same state. We're living in the same house, but I don't feel connected to this person because they're always on their phone. So you have to be very, very, like conscious of it. So make sure that you take away distractions from devices and from social media. You can get, sometimes you find that why someone is addicted to social media or to their phones is because maybe the person is addicted to pornography. That is also an issue. Most of the time, at least most of the marriages that we've had to counsel that have an issue with pornography, there's usually loneliness in that marriage as well. The couple just finds that they are unable to connect because there is no way pornography comes into a marriage that it doesn't destroy connection between the couple. And the truth is, the person that is addicted might just refuse to face it, might just feel, oh, it's not that important. Oh, it's just something I watch when I want to relax. But the truth is, it's impacting on your marriage. Your wife or your husband is feeling cold because you're not paying them attention. You would rather watch a pornographic film or movie or something, and you think it's just something, it's just minor, it's not a big deal, but it's a big deal. Your spouse is actually feeling cold and neglected. So please let us be careful with social media. Another thing that social media does is that it brings comparison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if in those days you don't see what your neighbor is doing, unless maybe they call you, you go into their house. You don't see what your classmates are doing in their lives. You don't see what your church members are doing per se, unless they invite you. But these days, with social media, you are in everybody's living room, you're in their house, you're in their car, you are at the restaurant they went to, you are even with them at the vacation spots that they went to, the resorts, the boat cruise. So you find that you start comparing yourself and wondering why your life is falling short. You start comparing yourself. You start feeling bad. You start wondering why your own is the worst. And then guess what? Yes, exactly. Comparison is a thief of joy. You start feeling sad and unhappy and miserable. I saw a lady who complained bitterly after 4 years of marriage that she was still unhappy because her husband's public proposal, her proposal was not public. So she was still counting it 4 years after marriage that the husband was still owing her a public proposal. Please, babe, let me explain this one.
And because of that, the relationship is in the deficit because she's not going to give her all based on that, right? She had already put him in a bad place in her mind, like you are not doing enough. So even if he's not making better effort to do better and doing a lot of things better, she would still keep going back to that point. Like, what kind of man are you? On the issue of pornography, there are different types of pornography. All over social media, especially, right? It's not per se the wrong, right? It's not. There is self pornography, right? There's the one that will gradually tease a bit, and because this industry is really huge in terms of the revenue they are generating and they're circulating in that industry, they cannot relate.
Yeah.
They will enter into apps, they will enter into AI, they will enter into all sorts. They will get people to become the market for you on Facebook, on Instagram. You will remove it, you say, I don't like this picture, they'll bring it back again. So if you are not aware, like we used to say after marital counseling to most of people who have benefited from marital course, would say that the number one unnoticed side chick in most homes, or side cock, it could be side chick or side cock, right? In most homes, is pornography. We've come across ladies that would say they don't really feel their husband in sex. And by the time we dig down into the cases, we'll find out that they are using porn. And what is that drug, right? So it keeps desensitizing you, and it looks like your spouse cannot do enough, or they are not doing enough. What used to excite you, or what should normally excite you, is not exciting you again. So it's far removing the possibility of love
and connection.
blossoming or
Yeah,
it's a pandemic.
absolutely. Yes. Another thing that devices do also is that it opens up more opportunities for infidelity. You know, in those days,
Yeah.
infidelity, oh, you meet somebody in a hotel somewhere, go and do something. Now you don't need to do that. You just chat on your phone, on Instagram,
And you're there.
or WhatsApp, Facebook. You spend your time chatting with strange people. Sometimes they even share nudes and all of those things. And then you find out that your spouse is chatting from the time they get back from work, maybe say around 6 till they eat. Even at the dining table, they are with their phones, they are chatting with someone, they finish, they chat, they go to bed. So from the time they got back, or you guys got back from work till they went to bed, you barely said anything to each other. Meanwhile, the person is chatting with a stranger online, maybe 2 or 3 at the same time, sharing nudes, saying things that they shouldn't say, that if their pastor should see it, they know that the pastor should not see it. Yes. So infidelity doesn't even have to be, oh, we met in a hotel, we did something. Just chatting with strange people, sending them wrong pictures, and exchanging things that only your spouse should hear is already giving room to virtual infidelity, emotional infidelity. And so you find that your spouse is left out in the cold, even though the person is married. They're left out in the cold. So social media can come from all angles to be like a distraction. It diminishes your quality time together. The time that couple would have spent together, parenting, planning, gisting, getting stronger in their intimacy, they're spending it with other people. The wife is somewhere gisting with one colleague. The husband is somewhere chatting with one strange lady from Facebook. And then they're wondering why there's cold in their marriage, why it feels like winter in their marriage. That's what social media and devices can do. So one needs to be very, very careful. You need to be very alert to what is happening. And most times those things don't show up and like destroy the marriage immediately. It tends to do it, over time. And then maybe like 10 years, 20 years later, when you should be preparing to enjoy your old age with your spouse. But now, I'm not doing it again because the cold has gone on for too long.
Yeah.
So this is something to watch out for.
Yeah. And if you are dealing with this in any way, pornography, masturbation of any sort, this would appeal to you that you should seek help, right? Work with couples, and we would be happy and very glad to work with you. And see, the amount it's going to cost you is, when you compare it to the result that these things can deny you of, it's nothing. So seek help, right? Let's seek help. If you know people who are going through it, get help for them. That might be a good Valentine's gift to give. Buy it for them. Get in our link, buy the box for them, and let's work with them so that they can get out of this and get in the right. So maybe I'll say we talk about how to overcome this, right?
How to overcome it, yeah. So these are our suggestions, really. Set digital boundaries. Establish no phone zones. So for example, you can decide that when we get home between 7 and 10, no phones. You've been with your phone all day. So between 7 and 10, put our phones on silent and we keep them out of sight. You can decide that you can do 1 hour, you can do 2 hours, depending on whatever suits you. You can do 1 hour, you can do 2 hours. If you work from home, there should be a start and stop time for your work. There should be a time you shut down and say, I'm done. And that time should be strictly followed. You shouldn't. I remember one day, whenever I'm home like that, I will walk and walk and walk. One day, my son came to me. He was much, much younger. And I was walking. He just came. It was already dark outside. Just came to my room. He sat down beside me and he said, Mommy, whenever you work from home, you don't stop, even when it's dark. That's when it dawned on me. It's true. Whenever I work from home, I don't have off time. So let's cut it out. Ensure that you set boundaries. There's some calls you shouldn't be taking. There's some people you shouldn't take calls from. Once it is like 8:30, somebody cannot be calling you. Somebody cannot be calling you like opposite sex or stranger, family, all those things. Like some people, you should be able to put rules. Yes, there should be no phone zones. There should be digital detox periods. At times, you just shut your phone down for 24 hours. You won't die. I promise you. Shut down. Cut off the internet, everything, no status, nothing. For 24 hours, just detox. So that you can see that you can live without it. It's very possible. I don't have to press my phone. And the truth is that these things that we do, we're teaching our kids, we're teaching our children. If you can't drop your phone down, your child will learn that they shouldn't drop their phone down. And they won't attend to you. The day you give them phone, they will carry phone, they won't answer you. So you have to learn that there are times when you detox. You can do it once a week, and do it once in 2 weeks. You shut down for 24 hours. Don't put on your phone. You can schedule something we teach in premarital counseling. We schedule open and honest conversations. We do this regularly, at least every month. You should find time to do it. And we usually prefer in the night. So from like 10 to like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. when everywhere is quiet, the children are not around. There's nobody disturbing you. Phones are not ringing. So between 10 to like 2, 3, 4 a.m. open, honest conversations where you can share, you can feel free, you can, like open yourself emotionally to your spouse and actually connect and talk about yourselves, not about other people, not about other things, just about you. And then, of course, the final thing we will say is follow the right voices. Don't be on social media sneaking around, following other people, saying at what other people are doing. Spend time following people that edify you, things that make you feel better about yourself, things that help you chase your personal goals, things that help you, do things, like your life purpose, what God has put in your hands to do. Those are the kind of people you should follow. You shouldn't go on social media, you are following this one married one rich man, this one met one box top lady, this one, and then you start judging yourself, start feeling like, I'm not good enough, something must be wrong with me, how come nobody did this for me? Like Valentine now, some people are busy scooping other people's status and saying, my life is over, nobody sent me flowers, nobody sent me soup, and all of that. No, follow people that edify you, follow people that encourage you, follow people that make you think positive. If you know there's someone you're following, and whenever you finish following them, you'll be looking at your spouse like this, you'll be angry at your spouse, you'll be aggressive, then you should cut off those kinds of people. They're not impacting something positive into you. You can't finish seeing a page, going through a page, and then your spouse will say something, you snap at them because you're just thinking, see your mates, they did this or they did that. So let's make sure that the people who are following are people that are edifying us. Prioritize your presence. Prioritize your presence with your spouse. Make it important. That's why I said if you need to take out time, a chunk of time at the end of the day for you guys to connect, then do that. Don't take it for granted that, she's my wife, he's my husband now, maybe I married them now, maybe they know I love them now. No. Prioritize presence. A lot of times we are there physically, but we're not there emotionally. We're not there, we're not connecting. The person doesn't feel like they have anybody. And this is a recurring issue in the counseling room. Be present. Drop your phone. When your wife or your children, somebody speak to you, your husband, don't be so busy that you are pressing and you are half paying attention. You're not paying attention. And they have to maybe repeat themselves once or twice. So prioritize. Drop your phone, turn it on silent. Somebody might call you, you refuse to pick it, you let them know you are more important, than this call. So I can feel emotional warmth and intimacy at you. Okay, so prioritize presence. Okay, so let's go to the second one. The second, issues that we have.
Yeah, before we go to the second one, I just noticed.
Foundation.
Yeah, so I noticed the
I know a lot of people I don't want to hear this, but it's the truth.
Can you hear me?
Inadequate foundation. I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. So the Couture said, if your business is 24 hours online, how do you manage this presence thing? Don't worry, we'll come to the questions. Just prepare your questions and we'll deal with them adequately at the end. Yes, let's go to the second one.
Yes, so I was talking about inadequate premarital foundation, lack of premarital counseling. A lot of us did not do premarital counseling.
See this one, I can break table because of this one. Because I have a question. Why is it that as human beings, right, some of us go to school for 10 years. I think average minimum is like 10, 12 years, right? Go to school for 12 years to 15 years, some 20 years, of all sorts, certification, just because we want to do a career or business of some sort. But we don't think that we need to do any learning for life. Why are we like this? How did we get here? How did we get here? Because there must be some sort of learning. Otherwise, you're already preparing to fail. Because you are entering into a space or a situation without arming yourself with what you need to succeed in that space or in that situation. So please, I actually need, we worked on this several times, and we've come to the point where we said it's not only premarital coaching classes we would have, but we also have post-marital crash course, and we have that for you. Please get it. I don't know how you're going to cajole your... Frozen. Yeah, the one. Okay. I don't know how you're going to cajole your spouse. How you're going to get them to commit, right? But if you can marry that person, then you can get that person to come into a session. I mean, it's just take you a day. Get the crash course so that you at least know the things that you should have known, and then you can look at your journey and start doing the necessary repair. I saw a post somewhere, I think on Facebook, and the thing was talking about how much you learn from different situations. And the highest of the three is how much you learn from mistakes. Now, in marriage, while learning from mistake is good or is the best way to learn, it can be costly because it can cost you your marriage. How long does it take? There are people that are married within 3 months, they divorce. Some within 1 year. Some, they've even gone past 10 years. And still because of issues that cannot be ignored, right? Divorced. So we need to take this foundational knowledge of marriage very critically. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the truth is that if you don't have premarital counseling, there are a lot of things you will lack. You get into marriage with unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you were not prepared. You didn't. It's just like a medical doctor now. Somebody says, "I want to be a medical doctor." Then you didn't go to the lab. You didn't see a dead body. You didn't do anatomy. You didn't put injection in somebody. Nothing. You just resume one day in the hospital after 7 years of reading textbook. You now enter. They now say, "Ngwa, give this person injection." You will first faint. Or they bring somebody and say, "Cut the person and bring out baby." You, that is doctor, you will first collapse.
Exactly.
You have to be prepared.
So pretty, I'm not seeing your picture. I don't know if that's my network or yours.
I don't know. But I can see myself. I look pretty. Can anyone see me?
If you can see her, please in the comment section, let's just hear it so that we can continue.
Okay. I see someone said in the comment that we can't hear anymore.
We need to fix that.
Please confirm that you can still hear us.
So that might be, let's be sure that that's not network on the person's part. Okay, I can see your picture right now.
And someone said they can't see me here, actually.
Yes, I couldn't see you, but I can see you now. Thank God, you're back. And yes, looking pretty.
Thank you. All right. So when you don't have the right expectations, you will have issues. Imagine someone that had gone through medical school and has read through everything, but they didn't tell the person that you will see dead body, you will see a woman, you will see man, you get, and then they enter, they see those things, and they are shocked, and they're like, I didn't know it to be like this. Hey, that's how it is too when you get married and you don't pass through any proper training. You're now shocked. They're like, I didn't know it to be like this. Another thing that it will affect you is you won't learn how to identify major background issues. This is something that you do in premarital. You learn, you identify your background, likely potential issues that will arise from background, that will arise from different temperament types, that will arise from the fact that you're just male and female, just being male and female. So these are the things that premarital counseling will open your eyes to, and you can do practicals, you can do exercises, you can do things that will help you now understand this person better. So that when you enter marriage, instead of struggling to adjust, like what people do in the first few years, it's easier for you because you've gotten knowledge. Like the Bible says, without knowledge, people perish. So that
Absolutely.
knowledge is really important. Don't play. Some people skip premarital counseling. Some do it because the church said if they don't do it, they will not wed them. So when they're in the class, their ears are closed. They're not paying attention. All they are thinking is their shebi that they want to go and buy. They are
But
thinking the cake, the cake, the cake, the cake. Hey, my wedding gown, Jesus, my suit that I'm showing in Dubai. That's what they're thinking. They're telling them come to class. You're the one looking for them. They're not. See, so it's not about the money, right? You might pay me a lot of money, it's good, but I want beyond the money. I want you to be able to say, I learned this, I understand. Oh wow, this thing opened my eyes to this. Oh, I'm inside the marriage now and I'm seeing the difference. I'm seeing what you guys said and I'm able to apply it and it's making sense. But most times we're not paying attention. We're just concerned with everyday activity, the wedding. Some people will even come for counseling a week to wedding, 2 weeks to wedding. So you are trying to rush, you're not listening. It's a no, no, please. As much, even I remember in our time, we didn't have proper counseling because I mean those days it wasn't a thing. But we,
yeah.
we now had to get up and go and look for people that we felt okay, this person seems to have a good marriage, they have a good relationship. So we now sat down, carry notes, and said, oh yeah, tell us what to do. That's how we had to do our own counseling because we didn't have it, in our churches and all of this. It wasn't a structured program. So we had to look for people to advise us, we took notes and like, okay, this is what we will do, this is what we'll do. That's how we,
And
counseled ourselves.
and this is for real, right? And yesterday night we were able to get across to Mrs. Sheila Davids. God bless her, and God bless the soul of her husband. Also, is passed right now. But we looked for them then. She can attest. We would like to honor you if you are here, Ma, at any point. Please just highlight, your name in the comment section so that we can honor you. Daddy passed a couple of years back, but they were very instrumental to our life. I mean, they were not the only people we went to, but their own was so deliberate that we carried ourselves and went. That we like this marriage. We like to get wisdom from them. So please,
Yeah.
guys, don't deny yourself of results that you'd have gotten. Unprecedented results await you, but you need to align first by getting knowledge. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you just keep doing trial and error, and it's costly. Go
it's
ahead, baby.
costly. So how do we overcome this? Get relationship. In fact, what I tell people, before you get into a relationship, do relationship counseling. Don't get into a relationship without relationship counseling.
Without
One of
clarity.
my clients who spoke to me yesterday, we were coaching on something else. She now said she's thinking of marriage, she's getting interested in marriage. I said, you will first check if you're okay first. Yes, because you can't carry yourself with your problems, your burdens, and drop on somebody else. So get relationship counseling first. Then you now get premarital counseling when you now have someone and you guys are ready to get married. You now do what? Premarital counseling. Then if you missed it and you married without it and you are seeing the result in your marriage, you can still have a post-marital counseling to make up for those gaps, the things that are affecting you now that you didn't look out for. You can do that. We have that as well as part of our program. You can do that. And then finally, if your marriage is in crisis, maybe you even did counseling, you did 6 months, everything, and then you find yourself in a crisis marriage, or maybe an infidelity issue and all of that. Don't give up. The problem I have is that people they sit quietly for a while, quiet. I don't know, maybe they're trying to hide the issue. I really don't know why you want to hide your issue. Is it not better you expose it, let them solve it
May-
for you?
maybe they think that time will heal it, but in this case,
Don't
time
heal
doesn't
anything.
destroy it. It doesn't
Okay,
heal it.
cut yourself with rusted machetes. Chop your leg halfway out, then
And
leave it for time to
until
repair.
that time heals it, right?
Time doesn't heal anything. You have to be deliberate about, getting treatment. So if you need treatment, don't lie to yourself. Get the treatment that you need.
And thank you. Shout out to Zitel again. Zitel said, if you miss it in pre, post is waiting for you. And
For you.
Happy David said, guys, share and share till there is no more sharing option. We love you guys. We love you guys. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Special,
I see my
special.
mom. My mom is also Are you saying mommy? Mommy's also in the
Yes,
comments.
I
She's giving
see. Say men, men don't like going for counseling. Please, men that are on this live or that will join eventually, please post. Would you be willing to go for counseling? Are you not the
yes.
kind of man that normally would say that I don't want any person in my business? What
In
does he
my
even
matter,
know? What does he even
yes.
know anyway? Is it not John? What does he know? He's dealing with
But
his, I'll deal with mine.
funny enough, that's what I used to feel before, that men don't like him for counseling. But last year when I did a check of all our coach, our counseling
Yes, our
clients
clients,
last year, most
yes.
of them, the men came.
They took
The
made
men
the
came.
first, they
Yeah,
made the
it
first
was the
move.
men that came to get counsel.
Yeah,
Yes. So,
yeah,
so I think that is changing. It's changing. So well done, guys.
yeah.
Okay. So the third one, I want to take that.
Yes, I would like to take that. Lack of unity. See this unity thing, eh? I don't know how two persons, right, are trying to get to a destination. One is trying to go through the left route, the other person is trying to go through the right route. How did they expect that they are going to arrive there? Even if you arrive there at the end of the day, the strength or the synergy that you're supposed to use to move faster and get to your destination has been split into two. So number one, you spread yourself too thin. Then the children will now start looking for who are we supposed to follow. I mean, we hear of families where the father will say, "This was the way they trained me. I'm going to flog the children," and the wife is like, "No, don't beat my children." And I'm like, "Is this a movie? Is this for real?" Like husband and wife against themselves because of the child. And while this is funny, this also extends to many other parts of people's life. Some people their finances, some people their investment, some people their jobs. Some their wives don't even know what they did, what they do. Your wife don't know the businesses that you are involved in. Your wife don't know decisions you make. A side chick or a lady friend in the office that is helping you decide what decision you want, critical decision you want to make. The ones that are even not critical, your wife should know, your spouse should know. We have women that they built their own house, then their husband went to rent the house, and the husband is struggling to pay the rent. As in, are we for real, guys? So this by far is it makes the top three. That lack of unity, that lack of unity. This manifests in lack of shared purpose, lack of shared values, right? Even conflicting goals. There is no team spirit. So nobody can forgive the other. Nobody can say, okay, let's see how we can meet in the middle. Instead, it was like, if it's not my way, then the highway. I want my way. I mean, there's a way you can stop this. And I mean, for people that have been with us in our premarital classes and even our postmarital courses, we have your return in some ways. So if you have to make critical decisions like this and it's becoming too difficult to make together, we can come in, we can come in and kind of make it easier for you to be able to make those decisions. In some cases, you find out that because they don't have this synergy in core areas like their finances, their purpose, their goal, even their parenting, they will grow apart very quickly. They will go because you know that you are not together. You know that I don't trust your leadership. I won't do anything. You know that you don't respect me. I know you don't respect me. Or the wife knows that he doesn't love me. I mean, the wife has said that to us before. That he doesn't love me anymore. When he looks at me, he doesn't. I don't think I excite or attract. Or I'm attracted to him anymore. So you can tell. You can tell. We're that intelligent, right? As human beings. And the moment you can tell like that, you start finding out that you drift apart as couples. You drift
Yeah.
apart. And that is where the coldness starts growing gradually.
Yeah. Yeah. When there is no unity in a marriage, it's more like there are two visions, right? Um, there is division, basically. That's what division means. When there's no unity, there are two visions. So this person is going this way, person is going that way. There is no oneness. The children will use you people's head, jam it, scatter it, because you're not unified.
Yeah.
So definitely that home cannot be smooth. There will be conflict, there will be issues. I can't imagine that I will go out, somebody will say something to me, my response is completely different from my husband, they told the same thing. When you practice unity in your home, you guys will almost always give the same answers to your children, to your extended family, to anybody, to friends. So you must practice unity. Like it should be something that is core to you. And how does this reflect? You should have goals together. Plan your life together. I don't understand how I've gotten to the point where I will see a couple, they have a child. This person will call this child Tony. The other one with the same child, they will call the person, so the other parents will call that one
Brian.
Amaju. This one will say Tony, this one will say Amadu, this one will say Princess, this one will say Peace. One child. That's what I named her. This one he named. What's that? That's see, it doesn't look like it's serious, but it's serious. Even in the little things. You can't agree on a name. I'm the one that carried her for 9 months. I'm the father, I'm the head of the home.
Okay.
There should be unity, even in even in the little things. So even something as little as your child's name, there should be unity. Sometimes you hear people say my car. You and your wife, you have one car. Or you and your husband. Because maybe the man married you when you had a car, you're the one that brought car. You'll be saying my car. Oshe. Thank you. Once you get married, there's no I again. There's no my again. It is we. It is we. So if it was your fridge when you came to the house, it cannot be my fridge again. It is now the fridge. Or our fridge. So all those things, they actually show that there's no unity. And they actually, so you might not think it's that important, but guess what? Your spouse is hearing it constantly. Your children are hearing it constantly. They feel like they don't belong. There's a feeling of I don't belong. I've seen a woman say that, as in, after all, it is his house. Since I moved in, as after they got married, everything, my TV, my this, my that. So she feels like a stranger in the house. Because the man is still thinking he's still one bachelor, independent, and all those things. No, when you get married, there's no independence. So, independent woman, are you hearing me? There's now an interdependence. You guys have to merge your goals, merge your life purpose. That's the reason why we tell you before you get married, make sure the person you are marrying, you people are going in the same direction. When you people are going in separate direction and you get married, that's where this lack of unity starts. So make sure before you get married, that the person you are getting married to, you have a joint purpose. Your life goals and purposes can fit into each other, and you guys will be able to go in the same direction. You won't be having issues. One person is heading to west, person is heading to east. How will you move? So make sure that you have one goal. There is no individualism. You can't cook only your own. You can't cook only your own. You have to consider that you now have a spouse. So all of these things are little things, but they go a long way to show that you are in a marriage or you are not in a marriage. You are outside of it, or you don't consider yourself married, or you're treating your spouse like a furniture, or like they don't exist. Some people even say, I'm calling my family. You're telling your spouse, I'm calling my family. Sorry, who's your family?
You're telling your family you are calling your family. What?
I
What
don't understand.
confusion?
Confusion. This is your family. So we need to be like, and the truth is, when there's a lack of unity, it reduces the chance that you will fulfill purpose. Oh yes, it reduces the chance that you will fulfill your assignment. If the person you are going with is not going with you, there is going to be a problem. I'm not cursing you, that's just the truth. Yes, it will reduce your chances of fulfilling your assignment. And if you don't fulfill your assignment or your purpose, you will be dissatisfied and you can be depressed. That alone is coldness already for you in that marriage. Fear, insecurity, and suspicion, it just naturally is the atmosphere in a home where couples don't stand together. Once we're not together, we have different goals. This one is saying, this year I want to make 20 million naira. Then this one is saying, me this year I want to make 30 million naira. What will happen is that when it's time to spend money in the house, everybody will be dodging, because I want to save 20 million, I want to save 30 million. So even if there is something, the roof is falling down, nobody wants to bring money to repair it, because you are conscious of what you want to save. But if both of us have a goal that, together we will raise 40 million, there's no way that we will will not be able to do something, that because we both know that it's from that same money that we're still going to get the 40 million. So you don't feel like you're on your own. Don't feel like we're fighting each other, we're doing competition, who will get more, who will save more, who will meet their targets. We're doing it together. So it's really important that suspicion, insecurity, all of those things, you throw them out of the window when you stand in unity. Otherwise, divorce becomes an option. Loneliness is pervasive in your marriage, and constant conflict will always be in your marriage. Now, how do we overcome this?
Before we go into that, I wanted to mention that if you've not shared the link with your family and friends, would appreciate it if you can share with them. Um, okay, so maybe it's good for us, but it's even much more better for them to hear about this. Someone in your circle need to hear
Needs to
about it.
hear this.
And this ties to one of the bonus points that we'll be coming with much later. The people that are in your environment, your cousin, your neighbor, your church member, your mosque member, your association member, your colleague, they need to hear these things. Otherwise, unconsciously, they will be influencing you negatively, and you cannot even achieve these things. You can't implement these things, right? So we would like you to share. Please share. And if you have shared, please post in the comment section that I have shared far and wide. I've shared far and wide so that they can see this and also benefit from it. Yes, we can
Thank you,
proceed.
guys. Thank you, guys. Okay, so how do we overcome this? You need to be intentional about shifting from independent mindsets, a selfish mindset, and an individualistic mindset to interdependence and a we approach. So you have to always think about we. How do we do this? How do we achieve this? What is it? Does it look like when we do this together? That should be your mindset. I know sometimes it can be hard, especially if maybe you were a bachelor for many years, or you were a spinster for many years. You got married at a really matured age. So you've been on your own. Maybe you've been on your own. Maybe you left school like 22, 23, started life, had your own apartment, and then you're getting married at 39. So you've done at least a minimum of 15 years alone. You are set in your ways, you are used to saying those things. Yeah, I understand that. But the minute you make up your mind to avoid that approach, it will help you. Because most times people don't even make up their mind. They don't see anything wrong with it. My couch, my this, they don't see anything wrong with it. But when you make up your mind that, I need to start to, talk like a married person, then you start seeing the difference. You start seeing the difference.
I'm pretty for some of our people for which this is necessary. I think you actually need to find a space, a private meeting where you can apologize to your spouse. Yeah, because sometimes we don't know how this talking in solitude or talking as a lone person, and you don't know how much it affects your spouse. Sometimes it affects their self-esteem, it affects their commitment to you. They can't trust you, trust that diminishing. So find time, and make it a big deal, and apologize to them that in this house we have been running as singles, and I want that to stop. If you're a man, I would like you to lead, But if you're a lady, you can also still push it, right? Because when you do, you can expect better from the other person. Yeah.
In fact, what you just said reminded me of something that happened in I think our first or second year of marriage. So they gave me this fridge, they gave me this freezer in the office. In fact, they gave me a voucher. So we're supposed to pick something at an electronics store. So we decided to pick a freezer. So we picked the freezer and we got home. And then you know how women you do now that you say, oh, my fridge, oh, my kitchen. So in my mind, I used to say, oh, my freezer, oh, my, That's how one day my husband said, is it because they gave me the fridge in the office that I used to say my? I said, no, Joe, please, no. I just say my, like my kitchen, how you say, oh, my children, and, not that I really meant that it was mine, it was very funny, but it taught me a lesson. And I became very conscious of saying that, actually. So you might not know that what you're doing is, the other person is reading it in a different way. So we need to be careful. If you need to apologize, please apologize. Then take time to align on vision. Take time to align on your vision, your purpose, your values for marriage. If you are single, align on vision, purpose, and value before marriage. Don't marry someone whose values are completely opposite yours, whose vision cannot accommodate yours. You cannot marry, you're a doctor. God has called you to save lives. then you marry an abortionist. Thing is one kind. Yeah. You cannot be a pastor and your spouse has a brothel where prostitutes and all not are gathering to do stuff every day. So you are saving life here, your spouse is killing life to that side. So your vision must align. Then if you already married, you can come together and prayerfully re-strategize and God will give you wisdom. Then plan ahead to present a unified front to your children. I tell you, if you are not in unity, your children will take advantage of you. So
They'll mess
come
it
back,
up.
come together. Yes, plan and say, oh, baby, let us do this. Let us do this. This is our front. This is our position on this. This is our this. Your children will learn that when they come to you and say something, they know that whatever they hear from you, they will hear from the other person. External family members too, friends too, other people too, they will know. And once you are in unity like that, you'll be happier. You'll be happier. You'll be more at peace. And then finally, remember that it is both of you against the world and not against each other. Both of you against the world, not against each other. Okay, so number 4.
Okay, yeah. So for number 4, is money and financial stress. Money or financial stress. I mean, yeah, we're not going to not mention money, right? Yeah, but I expected that money would be number 1 for some reasons, but there are some things that are actually more critical than money. But of course, money is a huge one. The moment money is mentioned, the temperature of the room changes. The moment money is involved, issues happen. If there is no money in your marriage, you are in the poverty level or you are in the comfortable level, just managing along, it can cause tension. It can cause tension. It can affect how smoothly you say I love you. Because you're like, what am I loving? I beg, what's this? Let's make more money. Money is important, right? And if there's a lot of money also, it's another issue on its own. So that's when somebody will be in London, the spouse will be in Dubai, and you guys are just doing things because it's a lot of money to do things, and you're not working together. You're just materializing your marriage and diminishing the love that's supposed to be in it. So money is definitely a critical issue. It can inhibit if there is stress financially, either to the positive or to the negative. It can inhibit happiness by causing chronic tension, reducing intimacy, and increasing conflict in your marriage. Nearly 72% of couples report it as a significant source of strain in their marriage. So, it can even
That's
affect your performance. It's huge. Yeah. It can affect your performance in bed, especially ladies. They are thinking, what's the next money is going to come for us to sort the bill? And you are saying whatever it is you are saying. It won't work. You can't have 100%. You can't have even 50% at that rate. You know. And it triggers issues like issues with debt, credit card issues and debt also, income
yeah.
disparity. Income disparity is even another one. In the world where we are right now, most times when a lady, the effort a lady puts in, oftentimes generates more advancement in career than the same or equal effort from a male. So when your wife is a very, very active person, very, very engaged person, and they push and they advance career-wise, they start earning more than you, and then it becomes an issue because you learned when you were growing up that man is supposed to be the provider or the breadwinner of the family. Issues happen. So that earning disparity already has caused issues for you. Sometimes also because your money personality are different. Your wife is a highly is in a tremendous way a spender, and you as a man, you are a saver or you are a giver, and she's like, why are you giving them? You're supposed to buy for me. Why did you give for that project? Why did you give church? Why did you give seed? You have husband and wife arguing whether they should pay tithe and offer in church because your money personalities are different. If you don't understand each other's personality and then begin to find ways to make it better, to align, to meet in the middle, to work together, to start to repair, and synergize, it's definitely going to cause issues in your marriage. Another one is midlife crisis. You think that you've been working for 10 years, 15 years in this company, then boom, all of a sudden you just think about your life and you think you're a failure. It happens in both male and female, maybe more prominent in males. You just feel that you're a failure. And the man is like, no, I want to carry on my savings and I want to put it in that business. And the wife is saying no. Meanwhile, it's midlife crisis that is doing you as a man. So you are now beginning to think that, oh, you have not made the moves you want to make. So this one, you want to pack all the money, all your entire life. When that money is lost, hardly will that marriage survive it. Because she will keep telling you, I told you. Meanwhile, you were dealing with midlife crisis. All probably you needed was to come in for maybe a 1 hour session and be able to get knowledge, be able to get insight, hear other people's story from counselors, coaches like us that work with other people. So that can open your eyes to say, oh, okay, so it's not only me that is experiencing this thing. Oh, so what do you think I should do? And then you can do the right things and move ahead. Comparison of finances with colleagues and others also is also another thing that could affect or stress your marriage financially. You're looking at your colleague in the office earning better than you, and because of that, you get to the house and you start shouting on everybody. They are like, what is it? It's only water that dropped on the floor. They're like, how can water, you want to flood this house? And your spouse can't figure it out. Like, what's going on here? Because you have been stressed from outside. And finally, financial infidelity. If you are that person, and both male and female, from what our experience, right? You are that person that feels nobody can tell me how to spend my money, and you are married. You are under attack. You are under attack. As in the attack that is waiting for you. When US Army, when they arrange themselves, the SEALs, they arrange themselves, snipers from different distance, and they are all aiming one point. And you can see the red radar light, like 20 red radar lights on that person. That's the way you are. You are under attack. So you can send to your parent, you can send to your friend, you can send to that young, cute looking lady in your office. It's just credit. It's just 5,000 credit. What's the big deal? That big deal, you will see how big it is eventually. So that is, in most cases, that's where infidelity begins. That's financial infidelity. And baby, I think we need to rush. So I'll have you throw in some more light. Then we can talk about how to overcome this. Then we'll talk about the last point and we can close this.
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that in the world that we are today, one of the reasons why it's colder than normal is that inflation and so many things has made our world completely different from our parents' time. In fact, if you remember very well, in our parents' time, you are like 30 something, 35. You built a house in the village, probably built in Lagos or wherever city you are. But in our time today, at 40 plus, you are still struggling to pay rent, like your yearly rent. So the way inflation has really, taken over has put a lot of financial stress on couples. And sometimes our parents add to it in the sense that the parents are expecting that when I was your age, I have done this, I've done that. So they are putting pressure on you as well. Then you too are putting pressure on yourself. Then your spouse is also putting, so it's just crazy. So you need to understand that times are different. Don't allow those pressures get you. In fact, if possible, cut yourself away from pressures like that because they can make you go crazy. Another thing is people don't have financial education. Some people actually earn well, but they don't save, they don't plan, they don't budget, they don't invest. I had someone tell me, he said he didn't know he was earning a lot of money. He's a spender, so he just gives people, And then one day, he just realized this my salary I'm always calling small. At the end of the year, 1 year, he sat down and he looked at his bank statement and he saw how much money passed through his statement that year. He was shocked. And he couldn't say what he used money to do in his life. That day, he decided that he was going to be more deliberate about his finances. And before you know it, 6 months into the next year, he bought a car. This is somebody that thought he couldn't buy a car, that my salary is too small. He now realized that, because he has not been planning, he was not just applying any financial education at all. And all those things add to stress. So you have to be financially literate, know how to earn money, income, spending, investment, managing, and all that. Once you can handle your money stress, You can take out financial insecurities. You can take out the unnecessary happiness that comes living hand to mouth. Some of us in diaspora were living on credit card. We're owing a lot of money on credit card. We can't sleep at night. Some people can't sleep at night because of the amount of money they owe. So why wouldn't there be coldness in your marriage? You can't even sleep with your wife or your husband. When you think about it, hey, just say God I beg, nothing. So you need to be careful. Some of us are anxious. Maybe you're laughing. It's true. Some of us are anxious. Like we're irritable. There
Yeah.
is no patience with your partner. Yes. There's no patience. We are resentful. Some of us are resentful. We're carrying bitterness in our heart. And then you find that there is a lot of power struggle and power imbalance. And before you know it, they say they're going their separate ways. So we need to manage our financial stress. How do we overcome this? Create a joint budget. There's nothing like all this my money is my money, your money is your money, one thing, one thing. Have a joint, see when you have a joint goal and life purpose, it just makes sense to have a joint budget to run that goal and purpose. So have a joint budget. Set shared financial goals. I mentioned earlier, some people, this one is planning this one is planning that. Let your financial goals come together. I see a couple, this one will say, I'll pay 50% of the children's school fees. You pay 35% of the children's school fees. So every month they use Excel sheets and be drawing this is how much I'm paying.
Yeah.
5,273 naira 50 kobo. That's 55%. You are 45%. 2,547 kobo. Have joint goals, financial goals, joint budget. Be financially transparent to each other. Be accountable. Be accountable. Don't just spend money. You don't tell anybody. You don't answer to anybody. I'm the one in charge. It's my money. I work for it. Be financially transparent, be accountable to each other. And finally, view financial pressure as a shared challenge rather than an enemy. So when you have financial problems, don't fight each other. Don't be angry. "Oh, we're drinking Gary. It's because of you we're drinking Gary. Hey, Goa, hey, Goa. No. Come together and see this is a challenge for us. Remember, two of you against the world. And it will be easier on you to be able to handle it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. We'll go to the last one, and then we can take questions. And if we have
Fine.
enough time, we can mention the bonus. So, guys, we should be able to wrap up in, I think, in about 15 minutes, right? If you have your questions, please drop them so that
I'll
we can
drop them
address
now.
them quickly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the fifth is poor connection or intimacy. Poor connection or intimacy. This is usually the result. Is usually occurs or emanate from the busyness of life. You know, the business of life, the lack of intentionality. You know, in the way you relate, in the way you interact, in the way you carry each other along. You know, very many years ago, at the very beginning of our marriage, we were so intentional about being together, staying connected, that if something happened between me and somebody right now, before the person walks 5 or 10 steps away from me, my wife already knows. All it just requires is a voice message now. A 10 seconds voice message. Oh, I just saw so person now. Can you imagine? This person has square head. And then we can laugh about it like, oh wow, God will help him. What a wonderful square head. You know, forgive my example. But basically, we carried each other along. It got to a point where my supervisor, one of the night, I was in the night duty that day. And my supervisor I was chatting my wife. I was monitoring. So I monitored, I set my workstation, and I was quickly sending her something. So my supervisor came and saw my phone. Of course, he saw the chat. He knew my wife. So he was like, "Is this not the woman who just left at home some hours ago?" Why not know they leave each other alone, you know? And I smiled because I knew that we were being deliberate about it. In fact, sometimes my wife's chat can be overwhelming. You can see like 20 lines from my wife within 1 minute. And I'm like, how am I going to process this? But of course, I always circle back to it, you know, and we carry each other along. So, by the time you are telling my wife that, oh, I saw your husband in Oshawa, or I saw your husband in Ikorodu, she will tell you the streets that I am and the reason why I'm there. Because we are carrying each other along. It got to a point that we even shared each other's location on Google Maps so we can see each other. And when Google Map wants to mess up itself, and Google Map goes to put me in Ikorodu when I'm at Ikeja, my wife can say, baby, say it's Ikeja. I go, what are you doing in Ikorodu? And I can say, I'm not in Ikorodu. That's just happened like once or twice, right? But
Yeah.
just for the fun of it, right? Yes, those can be the gadgets can be they can have faults, they can have issues sometimes, but when you are deliberate, you will still get it. You will still get it.
Yeah.
So I can be in North America, my wife can be in Asia, and my wife can say, "Oh, baby, you are running late. You're supposed to get to the office in next 5 minutes," and I can see where you are right now. Be that intimate. Be that intimate. Be that intimate. Don't let busyness erode all the material you're supposed to use, and majorly the material is the time. Is the time that you make sure you spend together. So for those that are still in career or those that are actively in business and report to work and do the hours, I want to let you know that more than 50% of your entire life is more than 50% because you are still going to sleep. And when you are sleeping, you are not interacting with your spouse. Where some of you are like dead horse. When you sleep, you are gone until the next 6, 7, 8 hours, right? So remove the 8 hours of sleep, remove the 8 hours of work. How many hours do you have left? 8 hours. So by and large, more than 50% of your life is spent in your office. Make sure there's a way. Make sure there's a way you keep in touch. I don't have issues with you being a workaholic or maybe not a workaholic. That might have a bad effect. But I don't have issues with you plunging yourself into your career, into your work, to develop, to grow. Yes. But set systems that can help you keep in touch. Set systems that can help you stay intimate
Stay in
with your
touch.
spouse.
Yeah.
And save the energy you're going to use for after work. Don't come back tired. Don't go when people are struggling in the office, tell them I'm trying to save some important part of my energy for my wife and my children. And vice versa. Tell them I'm trying to save some energy for my husband. I can't argue on this thing.
Yeah.
And that will help us. All of the above are caused by the modern pressure that we're currently in. All the things that I've mentioned so far are caused by modern pressure, such as technology, addiction, overload of information, lack of attention then comes from this. So lack of attention then begins to cause couples to drift apart. So you can't even maintain a conversation for more than 5 minutes with your what's even 5 minutes, sometimes 1 minute. 1 minute you have touched your phone, you have something to press in your phone. Oh, my business is on my phone. I will come to that question after. My business is my phone, so because of that I have to chat while listening to you. You can't pay attention, you can't put the phone away. The high stress urban modern lifestyle that we're currently living in with work or business, they cause an overload for us.
Yeah.
They take away the time that is meant for body bonding between husband and wife. No shared activity, no interest. See, for you to be able to gain back those time, maybe we'll touch it in how to overcome it. But let me mention this one now. Do some things together. Do some things together. Don't come back and say, "Oh, when I come back from work, I go to the gym, and I have to do the gym because of my health." Yes, I appreciate that. You're muted. You're muted. You're trying to say
I'm saying
something.
they can go to the gym together. It's okay.
Absolutely. Don't say because I have to do it, I have to go. Then you mainly get home. You just say, "Hey, hello, baby. How you doing? I'm going to the gym." You are losing time. You're losing time. Tell her, "Baby, do you want to let's go to gym together? Register together." Don't let those young ladies oppress your life and scatter your marriage by going alone. Go together. And if your wife doesn't like the gym, do a walk on your street. Find an estate where you can drive to and do a walk. So that you are together, you are gisting, you are looking in each other's faces, you are touching hands. These are the ways that you are going to be able to build intimacy. The issue with constant quarreling, right? You need a tool. Because the truth is, you are two different people brought up in two different ways, in most cases, with different background, upbringing, different experiences in life, some with trauma, you are different. So definitely there will be disparity in your views. And it can lead to quarreling if you don't know how to handle it, if you have not mastered communication. One of the things we touched in our premaritals, right, is when this constant quarreling, lack of respect for each other, unkindness to each other, unforgiveness on things that have happened, harboring past hurt, that has been caused by your spouse, they will eventually lead you or your spouse to shut down. Those things are shutting you down. That's what they are doing. So if you allow them to continue, they are there and you're just saying, no problem, we'll get along, get along. You won't get along. Oh. Something is spoiling.
Yeah.
Something is decaying. Something is deteriorating. And one day you just wake up and you're like, how can you say you don't love me again? They've gotten here. That's why. They've gotten here. So let me rush this and we can go to how to overcome. When you decide that honeymoon is over, you are doing yourself a disservice. When you get to that point, when you see each other finish, and you're like, what is there?
The butterflies have died.
That's the reason why you don't need butterfly. Because they die very early. You need intentionality and you need that commitment to each other. Intentionality and commitment to each other. Because the moment you leave that honeymoon stage and you start the finish case with each other, the motivation start going downhill. The motivation from your spouse start going. Sometimes you need to just motivate yourself. You don't necessarily have to see it the way, because the people that you are comparing your spouse with, the number of things that they are using to augment. When you're comparing your spouse with a lady on social media that use foundation, they now still filter the foundation. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we comparing apples and oranges? You shouldn't. Your wife doesn't stand a chance when you start comparing her with someone plastic, someone deliberate, and someone that is clearly acting. This lady is acting for you on social media. When she finishes that video, sir, that video that aroused you, that video that made you feel like, see better woman now. When she finishes it, they normally release and say, I beg, make I go chop. Hopefully, I'll get likes on this one. They're selling markets.
Exactly.
So we need to be awake. You can't see picture or video of a man on social media, and because of that, you're looking down on your husband. You're like, I don't even know. You have never even worn a suit before. See man wear suit. See man wear agbada. It's only that agbada that man you saw have. Only one. In some cases, they don't even own it. They borrowed it so that they can do shoot. Or now in this AI times, they've done AI for you.
Yeah.
And you're killing yourself. You're killing your marriage. So let's wake up from it and be deliberate about intentionally loving and being intimate with each other. Without connection and intimacy, couples may develop mental health issues. When they bottle up feelings, you are leading, you then start tilting towards depression. Some people, their wives, and this is usually in the case of wives, except some men that might be in their midlife crisis stage. For some wives, your wife is withering away, as in she's practically, you can see that this lady is not as bright as she used to be before she got married, or in the early years of your marriage. This is not as happy as she used to be. This lady is overloaded, and you just feel that no problem, let's just go along. Come on. You're smarter than that. You can't put fire in your roof and go to bed. You can't do that. So let's avoid that depression. Let's avoid that anxiety. Let's avoid extreme loneliness, even though we are together in marriage. Change your spouse from a flatmate today to your indeed true intimate spouse. Yes, let's change the work title going forward. And
some flatmates are even better. At least they still gist and talk. This one is not flatmates, on me. Enemy.
Right.
Okay, so how do we overcome this? You need to be intentionally present. You can't be present physically, but emotionally, mentally, psychologically, you are completely out of it. be present, spend quality time on conversations. Like I said, not about people. You can talk about people, but if you don't talk about each other, then there's something wrong with your intimacy. So spend time on quality conversations. Make sure you interact. Otherwise, what you will have is a loveless marriage.
Mm,
Active listening. Make sure you listen to your spouse. A lot of times we are listening because we want to quickly say something, want to quickly respond, or want to quickly defend ourselves. We're not listening
mm.
because we want to connect. Sometimes the person is saying something before the person has landed, you're in a hurry to give solutions so
Respond.
that you can move on to the next thing. Maybe your spouse just wants to share something with you. Just listen and be discerning about what they want, why they are sharing. Don't rush to defend or to provide solution or to say something. No, just listen. Let them know that they have your ear. Prioritize your relationship. Let your relationship with your spouse be number one. Well, apart from God, let it be number one. Make sure that every single day, perform one daily kind gesture for your spouse in a way that you show them appreciation and affection, because this is something that will foster warmth in your house. Like we said, it's a cold world. How does your own marriage stay warm? Every day, make sure you do something kind, something warm, something affectionate, and appreciate your spouse, whatever it is. Because sometimes we think, well, maybe I used to cook for my husband, and maybe I used to wash her car. Sometimes you're not doing that thing with warmth, you are grumbling. And the Bible says itself that God loves a cheerful giver. If you give without it being cheerful, God doesn't recognize it. So if you are grumbling to your spouse, or you're making your spouse feel like you're just doing it because they forced you, you lose marks. It won't make any sense. So let it be from a place of kindness and affection. And then finally, seek help from professionals. I don't know why we struggle in this part of the world to see professionals, to go to counselors. Some things you can't resolve. Some things the couple cannot resolve on their own. They will need professional help. So instead of tying your matter inside your bed, under your mattress, your pillow, bring it out, let counselor help your ministry so that you can be happy. What we're not thinking of most times is that we're still young now, we're still spry, we're still having fun. And the time will come when you're old, you're not going to work anymore, you're at home. It's that same spouse that been running away from you. You sit. So if you don't resolve the issue now, it's still waiting for you in front. Like
In
someone
front.
said earlier in the chat room, if you don't do pre, post is waiting for you in front. If you rush in, you most likely rush out. So let's be very, very deliberate in building emotional intimacy and connection so that we can drive away the cold and bring in the warmth of a great marriage. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Hey,
you. So yeah, so we're gonna have maybe like 30 seconds water break. Admin can bring up one or two content, and then we'll come
questions.
back to the questions. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a question here from Vitel Couture, saying people who weren't able to align vision and purpose before marriage, how would they make it up when they try to have the conversation? They are always in opposite directions.
Okay, they were not able to align before marriage.
Yeah, and now they are trying to have that conversation. They are always also in opposite direction.
Opposite directions. That means they haven't been able to do well on their unity. The truth is, if you don't start, like, when I was talking about unity, there are little things first before big things. Vision and purpose is big. If you can't align on your name of your child, you can't align on simple things, it will be very difficult to align on big things. So they need to work on their agreements. They need to work on how they agree, how they, you know, how they think. Like, they need to think on a lot of things, because these things are not things that you force. You can't force it. I would
Yeah,
not advise you to force it. Yes, you can't force it. So you need to even start aligning on the little things and start to see when a couple is very, very emotionally intimate, like they're very close, they think alike. They actually start to think alike. They like to act like each other. They can finish each other's sentences. They can say, this is not my husband's voice, this is not the kind of thing my wife can say, because they've synced on a lot of things. So I guess what they need to do is go back and work on their unity. When they've worked on their unity, they will get to the point where vision and purpose they can actually sit down and align. Now, another thing I would say is, if you feel that you've tried enough on that but you're still struggling, you can see a coach. You can see either a marriage counselor, or you can see a like a business coach or a finance, somebody that can walk you through those goals and purposes, like a mentor too as well. That can also help. So if you feel that you have tried what you can do and still struggling, but your unity, you feel that your unity is great, then you can seek help. Otherwise, most times the issue is that you've not even synced on a lot of things. So thinking of vision and purpose will almost be impossible for you. Maybe do you want to add something else to that?
you said most of it. I just know that this can be really tacky in situation in relationship or marriages, right? Because the person that you are trying to, you can't change. You can't really change any adult, right? This person has they have formed this character or beliefs or views to life for years, for decades, right? You can't bring them to marriage, then start force feeding them what you want, right? So I'll say go in the route that you've been advised, get coach, and it might not even be coach and mentor only, it might be someone they respect. And often cases, this kind of spouse, they don't even have anybody they respect. They don't have anybody they can say, this is the person that can can call me to action, can call me to correction. Do you understand? So if they have, God bless you. You have been blessed. So use that. If you don't have, then keep showing love, right? Keep showing love and keep communicating in the little ways you are, and start with the little things. Don't go straight to vision and purpose. Start with the little things. That the way we train these kids. How does to do it together? How can we do it? That we do it as a couple and not differently.
Yeah.
And then gradually with the small wins, you start advancing. Because what you're trying to do, you are trying to change this person's mindset, and it takes time. It can be achieved most times after you have consistently applied love, applied kindness. Sometimes you need to see people for who they are. You cannot force a dog. Now, I'm not calling anybody dog, but I'm just using that as an example. You can't force a dog to eat with fork and knife. There are even some men that you can't even get, some men or women that you can't get them to even chew properly in a proper dining. They will chew because that's the way they've been casted. And in most cases, they are casted in stone. So it's gradual, consistent warmth that will get them to crack up and blossom eventually. And then we can now be able to say, oh, we are remolding ourselves in this way or that way. So oftentimes we had entered into a serious case, and it doesn't have a quick fix. You need to continue to apply. So come into sessions, get them to consistently have conversations, and you continue to apply love, show kindness, and then we'll get results from there. Thank you.
Okay. The next question I can see is, if if your business is more online than offline, how do you stay away from your phone for 24 hours?
Yeah. So boundaries are very important. They are very, very important. And let me talk about boundary, then I can talk about automation. So first for boundaries is there's nothing, really, really nothing that is as important as your relationship with your spouse. Because relationship with your spouse can make or mar you. How good it is or how bad it is can make or mar you in all other aspects. So you can be making all the money, you can be moving forward, but because you are not paying attention to them, that whole
Yeah.
money can be lost. Maybe to lawsuits or to them carrying the money and going to bet with it or do all sorts with it. And then it becomes a chaotic situation. So you want to pay attention to your spouse. The Bible says pay attention to the condition of your sheep, right? It's important. It's your obligation that you should make out. So create boundaries. Oh, this is the place where I work when I'm in the office, and this is what I do. And after working here and closing by 4 p.m., if there are any other inquiries or requests or what have you, and I have to be the one to handle it, I only check 5 minutes every other hour. And your spouse knows this that, oh, okay, you're going to check your whatever again, okay. And your wife, your spouse knows that you're going to be back in 5 to 10 minutes. That way, you guys can bond, you guys can work together, rather than allowing people to deplete your relationship. Then you can also use automation. Can use automation. The most common one is the one we do on WhatsApp. When someone sends you a message to your business line, and business line say, "Oh, you're welcome. We'll get back to you within the next 4 hours or next 6 hours or latest by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning." Put something like that so that yes, you don't want to lose business, but don't get carried away. So set your time. Set your time. Set your time. Create boundaries. Have a particular spot or space for business in your house. Can be a tiny room. Create that and walk away. And that way your spouse too will know that, oh, I am a priority in this marriage.
Yeah.
I'm not just on
Yeah.
the side. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the truth is, I don't even really care how online your business is. If you can't take out 24 hours to go on a retreat with God, then there's problem. So the same thing, you should be able to take out time and say, oh, I'm shutting out from social media. I don't think there's any business that will come on online 24 hours that will business that if you lose it, you will die.
Mm.
So okay, you might not want to do 24 hours. Can you do 20 hours? Can you do 15 hours? Can you just do something to show that, oh, I'm not addicted to this thing doesn't have me, I'm the one that has it doesn't have me. That's really the idea for the detoxing, so that just in case you don't know that you are addicted, it can tell you that you're addicted. Okay, next question. There's
I
a question
think,
from Favor.
yeah,
Favor Golly, what would you want or rather admonish a young person who isn't in a relationship or married yet about marriage? What will you tell them about marriage?
learn, learn, learn. There's a lot to learn. So much to learn. And as you're learning, you also develop yourself. Uh, so you're learning and you're improving yourself to make yourself more marketable, more lovable, right? In the marriage eventually. And the more you improve yourself with this knowledge, the easier it is for you to filter, to be able to make right decisions, make the right choice of a life partner, right? So it's just learn, learn, learn. No worry, no, no, no decision, no, don't take any decision in the haste. Take your time, think about it, and be logical. Use the knowledge of acquired to be logical, make decisions, and with this, Bible says, my people are perish for lack of knowledge. With knowledge, you are most definitely going to get it right. Most definitely. That's what I would
And
advise.
I also add that make sure you do premarital counseling eventually before you get married.
Before.
And if you're not in a relationship, make sure you get some counseling before you get into a relationship. That's what I'm
Mm,
saying.
yeah.
Then the final question we have here: what's the difference between chemistry and compatibility? You want to
Okay.
take that?
I'm thinking of how to go about it. Bringing those two words together is funny. Chemistry, I think mostly chemistry, the way it's used these days, is the one that can die. That thing, that's just exciting, and that can die very, very, very easily, and stuff like that. And compatibility is kind of interchangeably used also. However, compatibility is different from chemistry, right? While chemistry can just be spark, compatibility can be worked on. So oftentimes in our premarital counseling, we go through um, one of the modules, and the module is about understanding yourself and the person you want to get married to. So when you know your money personality, you know
Personality.
your apology language, you know your love language, you know your temperament, then you can now begin to look at, okay, this is mine, this is my profile, this is the profile of my intended spouse. How can these two profiles work together? How can they work together? And then if you are guided in premarital counseling, you can begin to learn how to make it work. That way you can
Yes.
achieve compatibility. And compatibility has nothing to do with sex. Most people say, I want to know whether we're compatible. Not that have sex. You just want to have sex. Just say you want to have sex and go and have it. And go with the consequence that comes with it, which most people are not talking enough about, right? But compatibility is really trying to come together with, okay, what are your views? What's my views? What are your beliefs? What's my beliefs? What's your goal or your plan? What's my goal and plan? What's your 25 years or 50 years plan? What's my own? How can we match this thing together? Are you planning to live
Yeah.
abroad? Are you planning to live within this country or whatever
Yeah.
country of your residence? All those things are things you will talk about, and you can attain the compatibility. I know that, oh, when this person does like this is a meaning. This is how we can achieve or solve the issue. When I act like this, it's because I'm already this. This is how you can deal with it. That way, you gradually start learning to know how best to deal with each other. So compatibility can be attained, and chemistry is just a spark. And most time, chemistry dies.
Yeah.
Just like
Chemistry is purely physical. It's purely physical. So if you're not careful, you can have chemistry with a bomb boy. You can have chemistry with a player. You can have chemistry with jiggers. Chemistry is
yeah,
physical. So it's like sparks, and
yeah,
compatibility is more work. Yeah, more
yeah.
work, more deliberate intention. Yeah.
So I can advise you
Okay.
to marry someone you are compatible with, but I might
More
be
than
very careful to advise you to marry someone you
someone
have
that
good
you have
chemistry with.
chemistry for. Yes,
Because
absolutely.
chemistry is really good. Yeah, it's
to
been
become
wonderful.
to become
Yeah.
biology and physics.
physics, physics with use of high machineries. You know, yeah. So
Okay.
it's been joy having you all here.
Very amazing. Yeah.
It's
Thank
been
you
very
guys
amazing.
for joining us and staying up until this time. We really appreciate you guys. Good to
Thank
see all of you,
you.
every single one of you that
Every
joined.
one of you, Eyitayo,
Yeah,
my
the
darling sister,
questions.
for
Yeah.
Favor, our darling daughter, everybody, and every other person that has joined from the different groups to which this link has been sent. Detail, Oluwatosin, we appreciate you guys. Lucky Rabo, we see you. Iziala, we see you. Daniel Eluwa, my own brother. Everybody, former, my sister. It's amazing. It's amazing. Mavi of Housing, we see you. Marvelous. It's wonderful to have you guys join. I even see you in Lola also, and that's impressive. So impressive. We're so showered with love. Join Irene and Co. God bless you all. We can
Thank
still
you
share,
guys.
please still share this link so that people can benefit from it. And while my wife is rounding up, I'll have admin just share some of the great things that were put together for the benefit of everybody, and we're hoping that that can benefit you in some way. So, baby, you can take it over.
Yes. So, guys, you've heard it all. The world is colder than it used to be, much, much colder. But you can keep winter out of the house and make sure that your home remains warm by doing all of the things that you're supposed to do, all of the things that you've heard here today. Um, Being intentional, being deliberate is worth it because your home is the better for it. So please make sure you practice what you've heard today. If you need to speak to a trained counselor, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. our social media handles, our community, they are on the screen. So please make sure you reach out to us when you need to, and we will definitely be of great help to you. Yes, our book is on screen. If you want a copy of our book, especially if you're not married, this will help you. If you just got married, this can also help you. So please, if you need a copy, wherever you are, we deliver to all parts of the world. So please feel free to order. And
And
we also have it on seller as well. So
wholesaler,
if you want,
yeah, you can also
yeah, if you want an
get the
electronic
e-shop.
copy, you can do that. Okay, I think that's all for now. I see Tosin Adeboye. Thank you
Yeah,
so much. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you.
yeah,
And Marvy, marvelous. Thank you for joining
yeah.
too.
Yes.
All
And
right. Okay,
and just
maybe.
before the last wrap up, we have the community also that we're trying to build. So you can see the QR code on the corner of the screen.
On
You can scan
screen.
that and join that YouTube community that we're trying to build. Eventually, there's going to be a paid, maybe WhatsApp or Telegram community also for marriages, in different stages of their development and are trying to, stay in a community that can help you to be able to build love and get outstanding results, with your marriage. That will be coming to you in the coming days and a lot more things also that we have for you this year. We're going to hold ourselves accountable to it and make sure that your marriage gets all it needs, to be the marriage of your dreams. Thank you so much, guys. And this is
Thank you so
me,
much, guys.
yes, and Uzamaka saying, God bless you and
Bye.
bye. Bye bye. Thank you.